Glen, firstly, let's start with the news about your retirement. A fabulous career. Have you got anything in particular you'd like to say?
Well, obviously it's disappointing to make the decision to have to retire, but it's been a tough sort of 10-11 months for me in terms of the knee injury, and probably one of the toughest 10 months that I've had. But I think, from medical grounds, for the advice that I've been given, and also for just future quality of life as well, I think it was the right decision to sort of hang up the boots. And obviously I'll miss it, but exciting to get into the next chapter as well.
Yeah, it was the injury sustained last season away at Bristol, I think, wasn't it? Was that the kind of final straw, if you like? How frustrating has the last time been? I know you've put everything into coming back, but unfortunately it's just not going to work out.
No, yeah, I mean, obviously it was a little ironic to have the last game at Ashton Gate, where I played for 6 years there as well. But I mean, I think at the time I didn't think it was too big an injury, but as it's gone along, sort of every step we've sort of hit a hurdle, and I think eventually it gets to the stage where you've got to make that call, and it's never an easy one. And I probably could have been the alpha male and try and say, I'm going to get back fit, it's going to work out, but I think the right decision's been made.
You were here for about 18 months playing, obviously a glittering career before that, for playing for Bristol over 100 odd times, a couple of promotions, etc. Any particular standout moments that you look back on? Yeah, well,
obviously gaining promotion from Bristol was great, but I didn't play in that final, unfortunately, Ollie, but the two previous finals I'd lost. But obviously being, I was injured at the time, but being involved there, the sort of celebrations after the game, the pitch invasion, I mean, they're sort of memories that I'll sort of never ever forget, and also probably making my Premiership debut against Saracens for Newcastle. I'll always remember that, because I remember going against Steve Bortwith thinking facing probably one of the best line-out forwards in the game, and everyone knows about him, so that's a pretty special memory as well.
Moving on, you've been appointed as forwards coach for the 18-19 season. I know it's obviously disappointing for you to have to retire, but what a fabulous opportunity this is for you. Yeah,
I think that's one of the reasons why I sort of came to the decision on retirement as well. That it's not every day you get given the opportunity to become a forwards coach in a team like Ealing, that a club that have obviously got a lot of ambition. They want to get to the next level, and I think that's just too good an opportunity for me to be able to turn down. And in some respects, when that was spoken about, it made the decision a lot easier, and what a great time to be at the club. And I'm fortunate enough to have a group of forwards that I'm going to be working with, that are a great bunch of lads, and I'm just looking forward to getting stuck into that.
Clearly a few changes are late in terms of personnel, obviously that's all been well documented. Now that's behind us, do you feel like it's almost been a fresh start?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the boys have responded really well this week. I think there's been to lose the head coach first week of the pre-season, and then first week of the season is never easy, but I think the boys have really rallied together this week. I think we've got 27 new lads, and the challenge was to always get them to gel, but they really have come together this week, and I think for us it's a fresh start and about us moving forward. We can't dwell on the past. What's gone is gone, and it's about just developing what we've got here now, and hopefully putting the performance this weekend and getting our season off to a good start.
Yeah, you kind of touched on it there. On a personal level, you must see it as a fantastic chance to work with a group of forwards, internationals throughout. It's a fantastic opportunity, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's massive. I mean, when someone's going to tell you they're going to work with some international players straight away, and a real hard-working group of players as well. They're all keen to learn. They're all thirsty. They all want to get to the next level as well. I mean, having to coach that desires, I don't have to worry about that. I suppose the big challenge for me is actually bringing all those players together and managing those players, because there is a lot of quality, we've got a lot of strength and depth, but the challenge is bringing them together to make sure we're one tight unit, and that we become a pack that teams don't want to play against.
Yeah, are you enjoying making the transition from the dressing room into the back into the office?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've had a little bit of banter about that already, but no, it's been a little bit surreal the last couple of days going in there, and our new Australians arrived today, and he's already took my seat in the changing room already, so I can't even go back in there now. But no, the boys have been quite good. They haven't thrown me off the WhatsApp group yet, off the playing one, but no doubt I'll probably have to get off there by the end of the week, because then they're going to want me in there. And I suppose being away from the social side as well, it's always quite nice to go on the team socials with the players, but that could be a thing of the past now. But I mean, I've always done a little bit of coaching this pre-season already, so I've had one foot in one door, one in the other. Now obviously moving right across, it's very different, but luckily we've got some good staff as well, Ollie, so the office banter's quite good as well.
Happy days. A coaching team obviously of yourself, Ben Ward, Steve Neville doing the scrums, Andy Holloway the skills. Are you confident that's a great kind of group to lead the team forward?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think obviously Wardy and Stevie have been at the club a while. Hollers was here last year. And I think we're all on the same page, we're on the same wavelength. We all know how we want to play the game, and I think we've got a good relationship off the field, which I think is going to help the coaching on the field. So, Stevie's doing a great job with the scrum already. Hollers has been doing the skills, and the boys I think are really bought into what we're all doing as a group, and hopefully we can take the club forward now.
What are the main aims for the season ahead?
Well, obviously we've not shown away from the fact that we've got the ambition to go to the next level. Obviously, it's that's easier said than done. It's not just going to happen. There's going to have to be a tremendous amount of work on the field that goes into it. Like I said before, the biggest challenge for us is actually trying to get. We've had 27 new players this year. Is actually trying to get all those players to gel, and that's certainly not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a little bit of time. But for me, it's obviously making sure that we improve individually, and then if I can get everyone to improve individually, then collectively we'll get better as a team, and hopefully that'll transfer in good performances. And we won't be getting carried away. We'll be taking, I know it's an old cliche, but we'll be taking each week as it comes, and just try and get the squad together the best we can, and get our performances right on the field.
And just finally, obviously the defeat to London Irish this weekend, how important is it as a group to all respond this weekend?
Yeah, obviously it was disappointing for us last weekend. I think actually we put a really good performance in. Looking back on the game, I think immediately afterwards, when emotions are quite high, the players were obviously quite down, but when we sort of came in on Monday and reviewed the footage and saw that actually we created a lot of opportunities against London Irish on Saturday evening, just didn't take them. I think for us it's just about making sure that when we get down into opposition green zone that we're clinical and we take our chances when we get them, because this isn't an easy league. There isn't an easy game in this league. Every game's a tough game, so we've got to make sure that when we get our chances that we take them.